Big day like me, you're welcome to another edition of Import Export Platform Facebook Live from Treatment Academy. Happy New Year to our viewer, and remember this is a program that dedicates now various areas of national trade, also provides solutions to your trade challenges in Nigeria. With me in the studio is
Aso-Oke.
You're away for 2 times. You're away for 2 times, and you want to run away again.
No. I'm around today.
So, what do we have in the news today?
Okay. In today's news, we have news from Punch newspaper, Ships on Port, and also Economic Confidentials. Fayemi urges FG to ban importation of Aso-Oke. That's from Punch newspaper. From Ships on Port, Customs task exporters on minimum standards to stem rejection. Then also from Punch newspaper again, reversing $500 million oil palm importation. Then also from Economic Confidential, in 9 months, farmers earn 201 billion naira from exports.
All right, so let's start with the first news.
Fayemi urges FG to ban importation of Aso-Oke from Punch newspaper. The First Lady of Ekiti State, Mrs. Bisi Fayemi, has urged the federal government to ban importation of Aso-Oke fabric and revive the nation's textile industry to boost sustainable economic growth. Fayemi made the call during the 2019 Africa Fashion Week, Nigeria, on Saturday in Lagos, the news agency of Nigeria reported.
You know, when you hear some news from Nigeria, you're wondering, some of the people don't know that we import Aso-Oke. See the name, Aso-Oke. It's just like when people are importing Ghana.
Something that is supposed to be
native. Yes. So Aso-Oke is being imported. I've seen some Aso-Oke that I know that the one I know that we normally do then. I used to know some people that weave it manually.
Yeah.
With not manually, they use
like something they push.
Yeah, you get the point. Some is even semi-automated. You know, but I don't get to see those things again.
Yeah.
So, and the kind of Aso-Oke you see today are very light.
Yeah.
They are not as thick as those things, those ones in those days. So, obviously, we know that some people have gone to China and said, look, I beg, if you make this thing for me. You understand? So, and that's exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
And this, sometimes when we do business, I don't know why. It's everything we still blame on the government who allowed that to happen. Because when you say, okay, people should not do something, or when people should do business responsibly, things that will not affect local economy, but if nobody will stop them, or nobody will hinder them, or nobody will disturb them, then of course they will keep doing it. And that's exactly what we're saying, that people are importing Aso-Oke into Nigeria. It's not just Aso-Oke. I think the textile industry generally to be revived, and government needs to end whatever it, and I understand. I remember then Afrin. I have an uncle that used to work in Afrin. Do you know what they do there now? Commodity exports. You know that place opposite First Bank in Gom?
Yeah.
Commodity export. When I was in Unilag, I go there to meet my uncle. Then they were weaving there. They were printing there. They will buy from Sunflag. Sunflag also is not far from there.
Not far from there.
They will buy the cotton and then they print it there. I remember very well there was one particular brand they print. They call it Elegance.
Okay.
Elegance Ankara. Because then I had a lot of Ankara. Yes, because my uncle working there, you know. So, but those things have died. Little by little. And Kaduna was a major hub for textile. In fact, our Oshubaba. Oshubaba used to work in Kaduna and working in the textile industry. And it was a booming sector. And somehow that sector just almost went comatose. But it's good that the government is doing something about it today. Because of importation, of course. Even though those importation, it's so interesting that importation that are illegal, as in, this is supposed to be illegal. You will see it in the market.
So,
you remember the story.
So it means that customs can also do something about this.
No, look.
In the sense that even if it escapes the border, I understand that there's some branch of customs that are supposed to go into the streets to check also for these things. Look,
there was a story about this checking. Before on this program, I've said several that government should go into the market open. But a customer was telling me that if they go into the market, people will die. That if they go overseas, women will just pull up with their hand and say, oh, yeah, carry me along, carry me along. Carry me along, carry me along. Don't. So it's going to be very tough to do it in the market. Only thing they can do in the market is to use those people to trace the people that are bringing things and arrange those people. But to take in the market, when that customer officer was narrating that I ordeal that time, he was saying they have to. He told us that how he investigated a particular true. He was talking to a merchant. No, he was told that those things usually are brought in the night. He came in that night and he met the man and he posed like he wants to buy, and the person was claiming that no, he did not sell it, blah blah. And he was able to interrogate and knew exactly when they bring it in and when they pass. And then they went to lay ambush for them, and they were able to arrest that man eventually. So, but that one, when I was telling that story, it takes a lot of effort, dedication, and determination to really do your work as an officer to get that done. And that's what we need to do. To be able to go and arrest the people bringing it in, because the big in the market is what you sell to them, they are buying. They are selling rather. But the people bringing it in are the real smuggler. I think the government needs to do something serious about. Let's move on.
All right. The next news is from Ships and Ports. Custom task exporters on minimum standards to stem rejection. Controller, Apapa Area Command of the Nigerian Customs Service, Controller Mohammed Abakura, has appealed to exporters using the Apapa ports to always ensure that the minimum international standards are met before exporting their consignments to avoid the recurrent incidences of returning consignments after export. Speaking at a media briefing last weekend on the activities of the command so far this year, Abakura said Nigeria's agricultural produce has suffered in the last few years from rejection in the international market due to poor adherence to standards and maintenance of required quality.
I'm of the opinion that the only way we can stop quality issues from substandard product being exported in Nigeria if we make up our mind that we really want to begin to export good quality products. And government must get custom to ensure that the goods that are substandard does not go out. That means an agency like Sun, an agency like I don't trust.
How about even putting in place a viable commodity exchange?
Okay, that's what agri. You're assuming that everything we do is agri.
That's what they said.
Is it agri? Okay, so no, that thing. The commodity exchange is coming up.
Okay.
Lagos Commodity Exchange, Abuja Commodity Exchange. There's one in the north at Kano. I met a couple of them during study programs like Greek and FX. Yeah. So a lot of them are coming up. So what I think, what they're trying to do also now is to be able to sensitize farmers, to be able to ensure that they have warehouses where farmers can bring those things and then they can put it on the exchange and sell. And that will be also, like I said, have to work with the farmers to ensure what the farmer is bringing is of good quality. And I think that would be a more viable way to fix it, actually. A more viable way to fix it. At least for the agri. We now have to find alternative way for solid minerals and other ones. But I think agri, that will be able to help us to fix the issue of agri.
All right. The next news is from Punch newspaper. Reversing $500 million oil palm importation. Incredibly, Nigeria spends a whopping $500 million to import palm oil annually to meet local demand. This is a big irony as a full harvest of the country's potential in this resource will reverse this trend. The channel and save funds to the development of priority areas. The Governor of Central Bank of Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, wants this achieved with the bank's investionist policy in the subsector of the economy.
I think this will be achieved with the way CBN is going about it.
Okay.
At least they are supporting as much as possible. What I'm not sure of is how long it will take for us to be able to, because of the local demand for palm oil and the fact that the people that are importing also are not going to sit down watching. I don't know how they're going to sabotage us.
I thought this is on the export prohibition list.
What's
Sorry,
that?
the import prohibition list.
Palm oil?
Palm oil.
But you and I know what has been going on in Nigeria. I mean, when government prohibit item, does not mean the item will not come in. I mean, the item come in. People will just. Are we not just talking about Aso-Oke just now? The Aso-Oke is in the market. They bring in this stock into the country. Although sometimes they bring it in another name. You know, that's another interesting about international trade. People use I under different name, like people that bring in a okrika, and they will call it mutilated rag. You understand? So it will come in. It will come in legally because they are using another name that
attacks a different interest.
You get the point. And so at the end of the day, if the essential food have been prohibited, it becomes difficult for that to be enforced. But what I think is going to be, look, if government fund them locally and the volume grows and we become competitive, sincerely import. So that's why sometimes when we are prohibiting import, which is okay, but can we also begin to do something locally to be able to ensure that we make the environment comfortable for people to produce locally and compete favorably with imported items? If we're able to achieve that, then we'll have too much to worry about. But if we're not able to achieve that, no matter any effort we put in to prevent it from happening, sincerely, we might not be able to achieve it. Because at the end of the day, people are going to find different way of bringing it in, and when they bring it in, because it's going to be cheaper.
Yes.
Because it's going to be cheaper. Because it's going to be cheaper, there's no way anybody will see a cheaper product and go and buy the expensive one. So let's hope that what the CBN is doing in providing fund, and then with NISAL and the like supporting them with the relevant information, we might be able to get them to produce at a reasonably cheap rate for us to compete with the item in import. Let's take the last one.
All right. In 9 months, farmers earned 201 billion naira from exports. That's from economic confidence.
Is that in news?
Yes, it's in news.
That is not in news. That's not in news.
Farmers in
don't read
the country. Okay.
So it's not in news.
We'll skip it.
It's not in news. I'm happy with the result, with the fact that we have a lot of manufactured goods on that list.
Yeah.
I'll be glad to see this one reduced, because if we are doing 200 billion in 9 months, that, in my opinion, I mean, if we are doing 200 billion in 9 months, that comes to less than 20 billion. Okay, about 20 billion plus per month.
Yeah.
For a Greek, I'm hoping that one day it will come down to 100 billion in 1 year. 100 billion in 1 year, so that we can begin to do more of value-added export. What are the exports that I was talking about here? Sesame seed, cocoa, and what's interesting that sesame seed is consistently now going above cocoa. Sesame seed, cocoa, cashew nut, frozen shrimps, cocoa butter are the item that constitute a good chunk of that. And I'm saying we must slow down, reduce significantly the export of commodity and concentrate more on value added here. Finished project. Let's move on to trade program. We're in January, we're in the new year. So what are the programs we have for the month of January?
We have export business training and the import training that we have every month. So on the export business training, this training is coming up on the 18th and the 25th of January 2020, and also same training is coming up on the 21st and 22nd of January 2020 at the Treaty Impex Trade Center at number 11D Paula Shadi Street in Surrey. So just in case you're asking, this training is designed for people who want to go into export business. If you're thinking of how to start the year with a new type of investment, you want to go into export, this training is built to sensitize you on the opportunities in export and also take you through different areas of export business in Nigeria, like how to prepare your business for export or exportation from Nigeria, how to plan each transactions for export in Nigeria. I will be exposing you to the different products that are available for exportation from Nigeria and areas where you can locate these products. We'll be discussing pricing. Haven't known the product that you want to export. How do you now place a proper price on the product so that you do not scare potential buyers away, or even shortchanging yourself by setting a very low price for the product? They will be discussing also how to get buyers for the product. If you ask a lot of exporters what are their challenges in exports, a lot of them will mention the fact that they can't get buyers. We'll be discussing how you can get buyers for your product. We'll also be discussing payment, the different types of payment methods in international trade. We'll be discussing all of that during this 2-day event. We'll also be discussing packaging for agro commodities, and we'll be discussing packaging for finished product as well, or value-added product. We'll be discussing processes, what are the different step-by-step process to take to go into export business. We'll be discussing paperwork also, the documentation requirements for export business in Nigeria. We'll be discussing problems. What are the risks? What are the issues that existing exporters are faced with in the business? We'll be discussing that and also telling you or showing you ways to mitigate some of these problems and issues. And of course, we'll be discussing programs, other things that you can benefit, programs that you can benefit from as an exporter in Nigeria. So this training comes up again on the 18th and the 25th of January 2020, and also on the 21st and 22nd of January at the Treaty Index Trade Center in Surulere. So if you want to be a part of this program, you can send an SMS to 0809 124 4449.
And that number should be going on your screen right now.
All right.
Okay. We also have an import training program that's holding on the 23rd and 24th of January 2020. 23rd and 24th of January 2020. We're in the year 2020, and we expect a lot of changes to happen in the landscape of trade in Africa in the year 2020. So for you to be able to import into Nigeria a number of things that need to be learned and understood are the things that we talked about at this program. So for many that are trying to import into Nigeria, generally there is a concern about the challenges that a typical importer faces in Nigeria. No doubt about that. But what we've done through this seminar, or through the workshop rather, is to be able to demystify all those challenges, such that, sometimes you just hear that, to import is tough in Nigeria, to import is tough. You just hear different stories about the issues around import. But what we've done is to come up with a training program that addresses all these issues. But let me not tell you another interesting thing about it. After that training has been concluded, we then put you in a WhatsApp group where we can continuously engage you. So our desire is not just to have the training once, but we're also interested in continuous engagement with you to solve your peculiar challenges, peculiar problems, as far as international trade is concerned, especially on the import side in this respect. So if you're interested in the intensive training on import trade process, letter of and brief for collection, please feel free to call the number shown on your screen. Remember, it's holding on the 23rd and 24th of January 2020. And of course, the venue is Street Invest Trade Center in Surulere, Lagos. Also, we have this program. We call it From Export Novice to Export Legend. We have 2-day program for export. For those that want to just have a general overview of how export work, and also to be able to invest more often than not. But for those that are interested in setting up a sustainable business, not just doing commodity, but that want to do value-added product, I want to set up a processing plant and be able to export value-added and finished products. We have this program for you. It's called From Export Novice to Export Legend. It's a 12-month program, but with a 6-month training in which you get a diploma in export business management, but you now have all other additional benefits from advisory services to you having your own products. In fact, one of the major objectives of this program is that you have to finish with your product.
So there's a product development process.
Yes.
For this program.
And packaging. So you're going to have a product and packaging. You're going to present different options here. You're going to choose the one that is best for you. But what's another interesting thing is that we have partners in the US who is willing to help you source for market. That's another interesting thing about it. Apart from giving you some leads But we have a partner in the US that can help you source for market for that same product, who can give you analysis, market report on what that product is doing in the market. So we're not just helping you to set up the business, to build the business. We are training you to have all the information you need and then giving you the necessary support for you to be able to get started. Remember, it's a 12-month program, and this program holds at the 3 Impact Trade Center every Saturday in Surulere, Lagos. Alright, so we'll move on to the third part of this program now. Remember, this program is streaming live on our Facebook, facebook.com/3Academy, and our YouTube channel, 3D Impest TV. Kindly remember to share the video with your friends, drop your comment, and please subscribe and click on the notification bell before you leave. Alright, so what are we looking at today under trade education, which is usually the third segment of this program?
Alright, today we're going to be looking at dental products. Dental products, exports or imports, as the case may be. That's basically market intelligence for dental products.
And that's on the African continent.
African continent.
You know, we'll be discussing what we call the AFCFTA market intelligence. And the objective is to get Africans, Nigerians, ready for what will happen in July. We are in 2020 already. 2019, we're saying next year has come now. By July this year, trading will start on AFCFTA. And what we have done in the last 3-4 months is going from one product to the other, one product to the other one, educating our listener on the product that can be traded under AFCFTA with respect to items currently being imported by African countries. And the beauty of this for me is, if they are already importing it, that means the chance that it will not be on the exclusive list or on the sensitive list is high. Because they are already importing it anyway, they are not banning it. But after they ban in their country, will definitely not make it. But this one has already been imported into the country.
So it means that they cannot produce it.
They are not producing it.
The market for this same product in that country.
Exactly.
People who are producing in Africa.
Yes.
Right?
Now, what's interesting for me is that Nigeria is even number 2 on the. Oh, yeah, let's take it. Let's go at the major importers.
Alright. Major importers of the products.
Dental products. Those are materials, equipment, drugs that are used for. You know, when you talk about dental is beyond Tito. Yeah. You see all these places like this,
Yeah.
It's dental. Even the job. They deal with everything.
Alright, and number 1, it's South Africa. Top importers of dental products in Africa. Number 1.
What's the market size?
The market size is about 241 million.
A whopping 241 million.
That's a lot.
You know, it's good to always be in the perspective. $100 million is 36 billion. $200 million is 72 billion.
Okay.
So,
Nigeria spends $18.32 million
to import.
So that's.
But Nigeria also exports.
So Nigeria exports also. So South Africa is number 1, spending about $48.2 million importing this product. Nigeria is at number 2, $18.32 million. Ghana is at number 3, importing 7.3%. That is spending about $17.59 million. Kenya is at number 4, spending about $14.22 million importing dental product. Then Morocco is at number 5, spending $12.05 million importing this product. Now let's look at the top 10 exporters.
Top 10 exporters are now hold on, sorry.
From Africa.
Top 10. I'm sorry. The importer are the market.
Yeah.
The exporter are the competitors. Let's take it.
Alright, and number 1 is Egypt. Egypt has a controlling market share of about 55%.
They have taken more than half already.
Yes, 55%. That is, they earn about $38.1 million exporting dental products. At number 2 is South Africa. They occupy 27% of the market share. earning about $18.7 million. Tanzania is at number 3. Nigeria is at number 4, earning about $2.69 million. And Kenya is at number 5, earning about $1.69 million.
So, like I said earlier, that these products, this segment of this program basically is to educate our listener on number 1, what are the items that I can export to other African countries under AFCFTA? Yeah. Number 2, who are the competing countries? The countries that are interested, so they are currently exporting it, who are also going to be competing with me. And this is very important because I need to know who I'm going to be fighting. I need to know who they export to. I need to know the market they have. Like Egypt already take over 15. Anyway, I'm not surprised also as usual. South Africa
to 55%.
55%, and South Africa is taking 27%. South Africa is a, whenever I look at the AFCFTA and I look at the country to beat, one of the countries to beat with almost every indices for a number of products. South Africa. Anytime South Africa is importing the product, they will be largest importer. Anytime they are importing the
largest exporter.
No, when they are importing the product, largest importer. And most of the time, they also export a variant of that product, and they will be among the largest exporter of the same product. True. So they've built a system that one way or the other is working. It's working in the sense that they've been able to build some credibility around Africa, such that a number of the items, by the way, they are also the highest in intra-African trade. I think Nigeria is number 2 or 3.
Does Nigeria have a committee working?
Yes, the committee was, in fact, I posted on my Facebook page, the committee was officially inaugurated, I think, just before Christmas.
Just before
Christmas.
And we have like 6 months.
And they told them that
6 months to go.
Yes, they're supposed to give a report every 3 months to the president. Just inaugurated. So because we've not ratified, in about 28 countries have ratified already. So AFCFTA is good to go. We have not ratified. So we really have not. We are moving at a snail speed. Yes. We are moving at a snail speed, in my opinion, on the AFCFTA. I've spoken to 1 or 2 people one person in the committee. They seem to be optimistic. They seem to be ready to do something. But let's see eventually what they come up with. But at least the good news is that now officially they've inaugurated the committee, and good enough also, a number of people from different ministries are of the committee. A number of people, and they have two chairmen or chairperson, the Minister of Trade and Investment and a co-chair, which is Minister of Finance. So the 2 of them are, so that at least at every meeting, one of them will be around to be able to steer the meeting. We are hoping that we'll be able to do some, probably begin to move faster now that they have, because we don't have a committee before, who will push it in the National Assembly, who will decide what will be on our sensitive list, what will be on our exclusive list, what will be on our non-sensitive list. All those things, I'm not sure if they will discuss. But now that the committee has been inaugurated, we are hoping that this conversation will start, and then I'm earnestly waiting to see some of those things. And my opinion is, we have challenges with AFCFTA, no doubt, but I also believe we have opportunities. So here, can we focus on our opportunities? What are the areas where we have an advantage?
Why we are trying to.
You get the point. So where we have opportunity, can we focus on it and just begin to work on that, rather than saying, we can't do this and they will do this. Either we like it or not, we have signed they are going to come into this market. There's no, we really. I'm looking for Yoruba people to use. The idea is either you like it or not, they are coming on you. So you are better off prepared. So at the end of the day, you don't lose that at the end of the day. Yeah. Happy New Year to you once again. Thank you very much for listening to us today. And my name is Fayemi.
Hi, sir.
See you next week, and bye for now.